Hello, today we're talking about soulmate and twin flame saboteurs. I am Sophia, and I'm here with Sarah.
Hello.
But before we get into our topic today, what we would like to say is to avoid any confusion and to respect everyone's beliefs. We're using the labels twin flame, soulmates, and spiritual connections. Everyone is entitled to their own beliefs, so we're using all of these labels so you can choose for yourself which label resonates best for you and your relationship. So, twin flame and soulmate saboteurs always know what they're doing, but they usually don't really understand why they're doing it. And until they get to the root of their issues, they will continue to sabotage your relationship.
Mm-hmm. Because twin flame and soulmate saboteurs create unnecessary problems. Tons of people ask us when we're doing psychic readings if their soulmate or twin flame is intentionally sabotaging their relationship. They also want to know if their soulmate or twin flame is doing it deliberately. Like, do they know that they're doing it, or do they have no clue that they're doing it? So first of all, these kinds of saboteurs, they know that they're causing a problem that they don't have to. Okay, so in that effect, yes, they do know that they're sabotaging the relationship. But why they think they're doing it, that's another story, because they may think they're doing it for a particular reason, but until they dive deep within themselves, they really don't know why they're doing it. So it's intentional, but not exactly, if that makes any sense. You can take that further.
So spiritual connections are often uncomfortable to those who aren't expecting something like this to happen to them. In truth, it's even uncomfortable to those people who are dying to meet their soulmate or twin flame. When someone has no idea that soulmates or twin flames even exist, and no idea at all what it's like, they can have a negative reaction to the connection. So why do you think that happens, Sarah?
Well, it's simple, actually. In most cases, when the two first meet, the intensity is intoxicating. They don't think. All they're doing, they just feel. They're going with the flow, and it feels great. So they surrender to the connection and everything that comes with it. They're just going with it. Since this exhilarating energy is like flowing between them, the couple can like stay up late into the night and have these long conversations, and they never want to be apart. And they're basically, on cloud nine. And they're developing these feelings and this sense of intimacy a lot faster than they normally would with someone else.
And we all know what happens when you move too fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's either going to slow down or someone's going to slam on the brakes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because everything's moving too fast, it is going to slow down to come back to reality. But by being so focused on their newfound love, they neglect work and other aspects of their lives. And now they're unsure how to make the adjustment and to bring everything back together and still maintain some sort of balance in their life, which is going to be hard.
Well, the thing is, when soulmates and twin flames first meet, they kind of block out the rest of the world. That's the person they want to talk to. That's the person they want to spend all their time with. And so everything kind of falls to the wayside. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, these adjustments, it just went from 100, and now they don't know how to get it to a nice, happy medium and how to incorporate this new relationship into their life. So, unfortunately, these usually don't go smoothly, the transition, okay? And now some misread the situation and think they have to keep the soulmate or twin flame relationship at that fast pace. And if they can't, and other areas of their life are suffering, or they can't juggle the whole thing or whatever, they think they need to let the relationship go. Go. They don't realize that there's a middle ground that they have to find. Okay, so instead of just trying to slow things down and fit everything in, they slam on the brakes suddenly instead of slightly to slow the pace, rather than leave the relationship.
So, but they really know what they're doing, but the thing is, they don't really understand why. If they can understand the intense emotion is okay, and that it's okay to slow the pace down, they wouldn't have to feel that they must bail out entirely. But they may also feel uncomfortable caring about someone so quickly. I mean, how can this be real? This isn't realistic. I just met this person 3 days ago and I'm madly in love with them. So, since caring so much too soon isn't logical to them, they think, therefore, that this can't be real. So what do? They end the relationship.
Yeah, they basically went from talking to this person that they've newly encountered about, what it would be like to be married, then have kids and, this and plan a future together. And then all of a sudden, when their logic kicks in, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe, that I'm having these kind of conversations. This is crazy. And boom, they're out the door. That's why so many soulmates and twin flames wind up getting ghosted. We have another podcast and YouTube video about that if you want to check that out. So yes, they know they're a saboteur when they walk away. They know that fear overtook them. Okay, but they do know that they're doing it because they're afraid to have so much faith in the connection. You know what I'm saying? They do know that on a certain level. And you may wonder, do they even realize that it's that they're afraid of getting hurt worse than they've ever been hurt before? With that one, not always. Some do and some don't, okay? Rather than face their fears, they just make up excuses or do destructive things that end the relationship. And this gives them a fake justification for causing problems. They may, for instance, go back to an ex that they know they shouldn't be with because there's no way that's going to work out. Or they find someone new that they don't feel as intense about, therefore giving themselves a false sense of security and safety. They may pick fights randomly and for no good reason, of course. They're going to make mountains out of molehills, okay? And they're going to do and say things that they know will trigger their partner. Why? They don't want to look deeper into themselves and learn the lessons that are coming with these spiritually connected relationships. That's why so many people that call us for readings, and I'm sure it's happened to a lot of people out there in the audience too, where it's like, they went from this perfect relationship where everything was great and so grateful to have this person in their life and blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden it's like they broke up with you because you brought them the wrong pizza. That's what started the argument that made you guys break up. Was it really about a pizza? No. It all stemmed from them being a soulmate saboteur or twin flame saboteur.
Right. So, and the way that we have to address this is to look deeper into ourselves. But when we look at ourselves, we don't always look deeply. Many people are afraid to do that. Why? Because they're scared they won't like what they see.
True that.
If a soulmate or twin flame is sabotaging the relationship, they're only looking at the surface level. They're missing the real reason why they're sabotaging the relationship. It's on the deeper levels where soulmates and twin flames discover the lessons that they need to learn, because in a nutshell, when it comes down to it, that's why they're really together.
You have no idea how many people contact us asking what lessons they or their partner must learn. Is it really that hard to see? No. It's more than obvious to everyone around you, and it should be to you too. Stop scratching at the surface for answers, because that's not where they are. Your soulmate or twin flame journey will reveal all your lessons to you. You don't need a cheat sheet, and you're not going to get one. Okay, they're going to make themselves known with time and with work on your part. Okay, so there are no cheat sheets. You're going to have to do the work. And again, you're going to have to look at your part and not just your twin flame soulmate whatever you want to call your partner is doing. It can't be just what they're doing. What is your reaction to what they're doing? It's always, there's never going to be just one at fault. There may be one who's more at fault, okay, but what is your contribution? That's what you have to look at. That's where your lesson is. That's where their lesson is.
So, for instance, like, let's say you have a problem because your twin flame or soulmate's ex keeps calling.
The dreaded ex.
The dreaded ex. The power of the ex. On the surface, the ex calling is the problem, right? Well, if they weren't calling, then they... But go deeper with it. How is your partner handling these calls or texts? And how are you handling the calls from their ex? That's where the problem really lies. Are they ignoring the calls or texts? Are they answering them? Are they spending hours on the phone with them? And then what is your reaction to your spiritual partner while they're doing this, right? You've got to figure out where your problem's coming from.
Mm-hmm. And do something about it, not just bitch about it. Okay. And in order to look at your part in things, you're going to have to go deeper again. You got to see their part and you got to see your part. Okay, so your twin flame or soulmate hasn't blocked their ex's calls. Is that the problem? Or is it something more? Have they cheated before with this ex and you've not yet kind of gotten the trust back in your relationship? Let's just say that's the case. Just stopping the ex from calling won't fix the problem.
Nope.
It won't get your trust back. So the real problem is about the trust between the two of you, not just the ex calling. You have to always go deeper, because 500 exes could call your soulmate or twin flame, and it wouldn't matter to you if you completely trust them. There's always a sub layer to everything. Let's just say your soulmate or twin flame takes the calls from the ex, and you tell them that it bothers you, and they basically tell you oh, well, it's no big deal. That's where the problem is right there, because it's affecting the two of you. You're not communicating about it properly. They're not hearing your feelings. Okay, so that's right there. That's their problem. That's the problem that you're having with them. But now also, how are you handling it? Are you just getting mad? Are you letting them get away with it? What are you doing? How are you two resolving this issue? Because you're not seeing eye to eye. And until you do come to some form of understanding with this, there's going to be a problem. And now with this, with the saboteurs, what they would basically do is, if they wanted to sabotage the relationship, they could use the ex, as a way to sabotage the relationship between the two. Either take more calls, unblock them, or, like we said earlier, go back to them.
Exactly. So, to sum all of this up, right? Because many people stay stuck looking at the surface, they may not be aware of exactly why they are saboteurs. They need to go deeper into themselves to grow and evolve, looking deep within, examining what's going on with you, assessing and reassessing your different buttons, etc. Have you and your partner spiritually sabotaged? Have you and your partner sabotaged your relationship? Comment below and let our viewers know how you deal with it or what you are dealing with presently. We would like to ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, you can find us on Facebook at Soulmates and Twin Flames, on Twitter at Soulmate Reading, and on Instagram at Soulmates Twin Flames. There's links to all of our social media in the description of both the podcast and the YouTube video. And if you'd like to book a reading with us, we'd love to hear from you. SoulmateTwinFlameGurus.com. Bye. Bye, Sarah.
Bye.